Ladies and gentlemen, time waits for no one, and that truth is one of the most powerful reminders we can ever carry in our hearts. From the moment we are born, the clock begins ticking, and each second that passes is a piece of our life that we can never get back. We often fall into the illusion that we have unlimited time, that tomorrow is guaranteed, that we can put off dreams, goals, and even relationships until we feel ready. Yet life has shown us again and again that nothing is promised, and the only certainty we truly hold is this present moment. When we neglect the urgency of now, we allow opportunities to slip through our fingers like grains of sand, never to be recovered. Time is a currency that cannot be stored or saved, and whether we value it or not, it continues to move forward without stopping for anyone. This reality should not scare us, but should awaken us to live intentionally and meaningfully every single day. Too often people live as though they have forever to make a change, forever to forgive, forever to pursue their passions. They say, "I'll do it tomorrow, I'll try later, I'll fix it when the time is right." But later never comes for many because life can shift in unexpected ways. Time moves at its own pace, independent of our procrastination. And when we waste it, we cannot rewind or replay what has already passed. That is why those who achieve greatness are not necessarily the most talented or the most fortunate, but those who respect time and make use of every moment they are given. They recognize that delay is dangerous, and that waiting until the perfect conditions arise means waiting forever. By acting in the now, they plant seeds that grow into success, while others who wait endlessly watch their fields remain barren. When we say that time waits for no one, it also speaks of the importance of priorities. We spend hours scrolling, complaining, comparing, or worrying, while the things that truly matter, our purpose, our health, our loved ones, are pushed aside. We tell ourselves there will be time later to spend with family, to nurture friendships, to take care of ourselves, to pursue our calling, but later is uncertain. Every day that slips away without intentional action is a day lost forever. Life is not lived in some distant future, it is lived right now. The longer we postpone, the more regret piles up, and regret is nothing more than the pain of wasted time. Many people at the end of their lives do not regret what they did, but what they never dared to do. The relentless nature of time also calls us to humility. No matter who we are, rich or poor, famous or unknown, young or old, time treats us all the same. It does not pause for kings, it does not slow for the wealthy, and it does not speed up for the desperate. Each of us is given the same 24 hours in a day, and what differentiates people is not how much time they have, but how they use it. Those who rise early, work diligently, and pour their energy into meaningful pursuits are able to create lives of impact. Those who waste their hours in distraction and idleness often find themselves blaming others for their lack of progress, forgetting that time was their most valuable asset, and they let it slip away. The urgency of time should inspire us not to live in fear, but to live with focus. Instead of drifting aimlessly, we can make conscious choices about how we spend our days. Instead of saying someday, we can turn today into that day. Every small step we take in the present compounds over time to create a future of fulfillment. Time may not wait for us, but we can walk in step with it, aligning our actions with our vision, making each second count. The tragedy is not that time flies, but that we let it fly without steering our lives in the direction we want to go. When we awaken to this truth, we stop wasting time on things that drain us and start investing in what gives us life. Time waits for no one, but those who respect it can turn fleeting moments into lasting legacies. The end is a new beginning, and though endings often frighten us, they are a necessary part of growth and transformation. We are conditioned to see endings as losses, as moments of despair or failure, but in reality, every ending clears the path for something new to emerge. The closing of one chapter is what allows the next one to be written, and the darkness of one night is what makes the sunrise of the next day so powerful. Without endings, there would be no change, no progress, no opportunity to redefine ourselves. Life itself is a series of cycles, with beginnings and endings woven together to create a larger story, and when we embrace this truth, we learn to welcome endings not with fear, but with hope. Endings come in many forms: Relationships that no longer serve us, careers that drain us, seasons of struggle, or even the habits and mindsets we finally choose to let go of. At first, the pain of letting go can feel overwhelming, as if a part of us has been torn away. We wonder why it had to happen, why it couldn't last, why we couldn't hold on just a little longer. But often what feels like a painful ending is life's way of making room for something greater. The closed door is not a punishment, it is redirection. The broken path is not the end of the road, it is the beginning of a new journey. When we shift our perspective, we can see endings as opportunities to realign with who we are meant to be. The truth is that no seed can grow unless it first dies in the soil, no dawn can arrive unless the night comes first, and no transformation can take place without leaving behind what no longer fits. We cannot step into our future while clinging desperately to the past. The end of one season demands that we release what was, so that our hands are open to receive what is coming. Many people resist endings because they fear the unknown, but the unknown is where possibilities lie. The end is not emptiness, it is a blank canvas waiting for new colors. It is the pause before the music changes, the silence before the next word is spoken, the space where renewal begins. In our lives, we often look back at endings and realize they were the very moments that defined us. The job we lost became the doorway to discovering our true calling. The relationship that ended freed us to love ourselves and later find someone who cherished us deeply. The challenges we thought would break us became the foundation of our strength. Endings test us, but they also transform us. They teach us resilience, they remind us of the impermanence of life, and they push us to grow beyond our comfort zones. Without endings, we would never evolve, and without evolution, life would remain stagnant. The end is also a new beginning because it carries with it wisdom. When something ends, we are not the same person we were when it began. We carry forward the lessons, the scars, the memories, and the insights that prepare us for the next stage of the journey. Every ending refines us, shaping us into someone stronger, wiser, and more ready to face the future. This is why endings are not losses, they are investments. They invest experience into us so that the next beginning can be built on stronger foundations. To embrace endings is to embrace life itself. Nothing lasts forever, and that is not something to mourn, but something to celebrate, because in endings, we are reminded that we always have the chance to start again. A failed attempt gives birth to another try. A closed door leads to a new one. A goodbye opens space for a hello. The end is not the final page. It is the turning of the page, the movement toward a story yet to be told. When we accept this, we no longer fear the end, but instead walk into it with courage, knowing that every ending is simply a disguised beginning waiting for us to claim it. Excuses must end because they are the greatest thieves of potential, silently robbing us of the future we could have lived. Every excuse we make may seem harmless in the moment, but over time, excuses pile up into invisible chains that hold us back from becoming the person we were created to be. Excuses are easy to create but hard to break because they give us temporary comfort while causing long-term damage. They shield us from responsibility, allowing us to blame circumstances, people, or even time itself instead of facing the truth. But the truth is simple: as long as excuses exist, growth cannot. Excuses stand at the doorway of progress, whispering reasons why today is not the right day, why we are not ready, or why things will never work out. Yet history has proven that those who succeed are not those without challenges, but those who refuse to be paralyzed by excuses. Excuses feed on fear and doubt. We convince ourselves that we cannot try because we might fail, or that we cannot start because the timing is not perfect. We look at our limitations and magnify them while shrinking the possibilities that are right in front of us. The danger of excuses is that they feel rational, they make sense in the moment, but deep down we know that they are simply barriers we construct to avoid discomfort. Every great achievement requires stepping into the unknown, but excuses keep us tied to what is safe and familiar. The moment we stop justifying why we cannot and start asking how we can, everything begins to shift. Excuses end when we accept that progress is born not from perfect conditions, but from imperfect action. Every excuse we make is also an insult to time. Time is moving whether we act or not, and each excuse is a wasted opportunity that will never return. Excuses may delay responsibility for a day, but they also delay success, healing, growth, and change. They trick us into thinking tomorrow will be easier, but tomorrow will only bring more excuses unless we break the cycle today. The longer we hide behind reasons, the heavier regret becomes. Many people look back on their lives not with sorrow over what they tried and failed, but over what they never attempted because excuses convinced them to wait. Ending excuses is not about being fearless, it is about being willing to take a step forward despite the fear. When excuses end, ownership begins. Taking ownership of your life means admitting that no one else can live it for you and no one else can fight your battles. Circumstances may not be fair, but they are not meant to define you. They are meant to challenge you. Excuses say, I can't because of this. But responsibility says, I will despite this. There is strength in deciding that nothing will stop you, not your past, not your failures, not your fears. This shift in mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities. Suddenly, what once looked like a wall becomes a ladder. Excuses keep you small, but responsibility makes you powerful. Excuses also kill dreams in silence. A dream left on hold eventually withers away. The world is full of people with incredible potential who never lived it out because they let excuses dictate their lives. On the other hand, those who left excuses behind discovered that persistence, even in small steps, opens doors that once seemed impossible. It is not the loud excuses that stop us, but the quiet ones we tell ourselves daily. That is why they must be confronted and ended with discipline and determination. Life is short, and the longer we cling to excuses, the shorter it becomes for fulfilling our true purpose. We are not promised endless tomorrows, which is why today matters so much. Excuses must end so that action can begin, because every moment we spend justifying inaction is a moment we could have spent building the life we dream of. Faith requires courage because it is never about walking a path that is already clear, but about stepping into the unknown with trust that something greater is guiding you. Faith asks you to believe in possibilities you cannot yet see, to move forward when logic says stop, and to keep standing even when the ground beneath you feels shaky. Courage is the fuel that allows faith to operate, because without courage, fear will always take the driver's seat. Fear demands certainty before taking a step, but faith says, even if I don't have certainty, I will step forward anyway. That willingness to leap into the unseen, trusting that the net will appear, is what separates those who live small lives from those who embrace the fullness of their destiny. Courage is necessary for faith because doubt will always whisper in the background. It will remind you of past failures, it will highlight your weaknesses, and it will point out the risks. If you lack courage, those whispers will silence your faith, and you will remain stuck in hesitation. Faith without courage is like a bird with clipped wings. It may exist, but it cannot fly. To soar into new heights, courage must give strength to faith, enabling it to rise above the voices of fear and limitation. Every story of transformation, achievement, or breakthrough carries this common thread. Someone dared to believe when others doubted. Someone had the courage to trust when everything seemed uncertain. Faith also requires courage because it often sets you apart from the crowd. While others wait for proof, faith dares to move without it. While others demand guarantees, faith finds peace in uncertainty. This difference can make you misunderstood, criticized, or even mocked. It takes courage to stand firm in your conviction when those around you question your decisions or doubt your vision. Courage allows you to hold onto faith even when external approval is absent, reminding you that belief does not need validation from the crowd. Some of the greatest innovators, leaders, and dreamers in history faced ridicule before they were celebrated, but their courage to believe in what they could not yet see allowed their faith to be fulfilled. Courage is also essential because faith often leads you into storms rather than away from them. To have faith does not mean life will be smooth. It means you will face challenges with the conviction that they will not break you. Courage allows you to walk into those storms knowing that endurance is built in struggle and strength is found in resistance. Without courage, faith collapses at the first sign of adversity. With courage, faith grows stronger with every test, becoming unshakable because it has been proven through trials. Faith requires courage in the smallest details of daily life as much as in the largest decisions. It takes courage to believe you can overcome personal weaknesses, to trust that healing is possible after heartbreak, or to pursue a dream others call impossible. Courage is what gets you up after failure, what pushes you to try again when things didn't work out, and what keeps your hope alive when everything around you looks hopeless. Each step of courage reinforces faith, and each act of faith builds more courage, creating a cycle of strength that carries you forward. At its core, faith is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move despite it, and courage is the force that makes that decision possible. Faith without courage is only a wish, but faith with courage becomes action, and action is what turns invisible belief into visible reality. That is why faith always requires courage, because it takes a brave heart to trust in what cannot yet be seen. Decisions define destiny because every choice we make shapes the direction of our lives. Whether we recognize it in the moment or not, destiny is not simply a matter of chance, fate, or luck. It is the result of consistent decisions, both big and small, that accumulate over time to form the life we live. Each day we are faced with countless choices: what to focus on, how to respond, who to trust, what risks to take, and which paths to walk. Though some choices may seem insignificant, together they build the foundation of our character, opportunities, and future. A single decision can change the entire course of a person's life, and a series of wise decisions can lift someone from mediocrity to greatness. On the other hand, careless decisions can derail dreams and trap us in cycles of regret. This is why decisions hold so much power over our destiny. When we understand that decisions define destiny, we begin to see the importance of responsibility. Many people blame circumstances, background, or other people for where they are in life, but in truth, it is often the decisions we make in response to those circumstances that matter most. We cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we choose to act in those moments. Two people can face the same hardship, yet one decides to grow stronger from it while the other chooses to give up. Over time, those choices lead to completely different futures. Responsibility means acknowledging that destiny is not something handed to us, but something created through our decisions. Every decision is like a seed planted in the soil of time. Some seeds may be small, like deciding to wake up early, to read a book instead of scrolling aimlessly, or to practice gratitude instead of complaining. Others are large, like choosing a career, a life partner, or a major investment. Whether small or large, each decision produces a harvest. The life we are living today is the harvest of yesterday's decisions, and the life we will live tomorrow is the harvest of the choices we make now. If we want a better future, we must make better decisions today. Decisions also define destiny because they shape our habits, and our habits shape our character. A single choice repeated consistently becomes a routine, and routines build identity. If we consistently choose discipline over laziness, honesty over deceit, persistence over quitting, we form a character that attracts opportunity and builds trust. Character is destiny, and character is nothing more than the collection of decisions we make day after day. This is why even the smallest choices matter. They may seem unimportant in isolation, but together they determine who we become. Courage is often required in making the kinds of decisions that lead to great destinies. It is easy to choose comfort, to take the easy road, or to delay important decisions out of fear. But greatness is rarely found in the easy road. It is found when we decide to face discomfort, to pursue growth, to take risks, and to trust that the sacrifice today will bring fruit tomorrow. Decisions made encourage separate dreamers from doers, because dreams remain dreams until a decision is made to act on them. Decisions also test our values. When faced with temptation or difficulty, the decisions we make reveal what we truly stand for. Do we choose integrity over convenience? Do we choose patience over anger? Do we choose perseverance over quitting? Our values guide our decisions, and our decisions confirm our values. A destiny of honor, peace, and fulfillment is built on decisions that align with truth and integrity. In the end, destiny is not written in the stars, but written in the choices we make with our own hands. Life will always present us with crossroads, and it is the path we choose that determines where we will arrive. Every decision pushes us closer to or further from our destiny, And the quality of our future depends entirely on the quality of our choices today. This night can be your turning point because life is filled with defining moments, and often those moments arrive quietly, disguised as ordinary nights that hold extraordinary potential. A turning point is not always announced with grand signs or dramatic changes. Sometimes it is simply the decision you make in your heart to no longer remain the same. Tonight carries that power, the power to end cycles that have drained you and to begin a journey toward growth, freedom, and fulfillment. Too often we wait for the perfect day, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect feeling before deciding to change, but the truth is transformation begins the moment we choose it. This night can be remembered as the one where you stopped running from your purpose and started walking toward it. What makes a night a turning point is not the passing of time, but the choices made within it. Every great story has a moment when everything shifts, when the character chooses to step into courage instead of fear, determination instead of doubt, and faith instead of despair. Tonight can be that moment for you. If you feel stuck, if you feel weary, if you feel like life has been moving in circles, then this night can mark the end of that cycle. The very act of deciding to rise, to change, to believe again, is what transforms this night from ordinary into extraordinary. It is not about waiting for circumstances to change. It is about choosing to change your mindset, your focus, and your actions right now. A turning point often comes when we are tired of being tired, when the weight of excuses, regrets, and wasted time becomes heavier than the fear of the unknown. That weight can either crush you or push you to rise. Tonight can be the night you say enough is enough. Enough of procrastination, enough of self-doubt, enough of settling for less than what you are capable of. There comes a point when you realize that the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. And when that realization hits, transformation begins. Tonight can be the night when that realization lights a fire within you. Turning points are powerful because they create momentum. One decision tonight can lead to a series of actions that reshape your future. For example, the decision to forgive can open the door to peace. The decision to begin can lead to success. And the decision to believe can ignite a dream long buried. Small beginnings have the potential to grow into great outcomes when they are fueled by consistency and purpose. This night does not have to solve everything, but it can start everything. It can be the seed from which a new season of your life blooms. Many people look back years later and remember the exact night their lives changed direction. They remember the night they chose courage over fear, the night they stopped making excuses, the night they finally said yes to their calling. That memory becomes an anchor, reminding them of the power of one decision. Tonight has the same potential. It can be the night you look back on and say, that was when my life turned around. It only requires a willing heart and a decisive spirit. Life will always present challenges, but a turning point does not mean the challenges vanish. It means you face them differently with renewed strength and determination. Tonight can be the night you stop waiting for life to change and instead start changing your life. The turning point begins when you decide to step forward, no matter how small the step, and keep moving until you arrive at the future you deserve. This night is not ordinary because it carries the possibility of becoming the foundation of everything you will one day celebrate.